You're sitting there, nothing to do, phone's right there, but you put it down, you've scrolled everything, watched everything, and somehow, in a world with infinite entertainment, you're bored. Now take the phone away, take the TV away, take the internet, the books, the music, the games, take everything away. What do? That's not a hypothetical. That was the actual daily reality for every human who ever lived before about 200 years ago. No screens, no scheduled entertainment, no content, just time, endless, unstructured time. And here's what nobody ever asks. Did it bother them? Did ancient humans get bored? And if they did, what did they actually do about it? The answer is stranger, more interesting, and more human than you'd expect. First, let's kill a myth. Most people picture ancient life as non-stop survival. Hunting, running, fighting, barely making it to tomorrow. No time to be bored because every second was a fight to stay alive. That's wrong. We already know from anthropological studies of modern hunter-gatherer groups, the Hadza, the Jushuansi, the Martu, that ancient humans worked roughly 15 to 20 hours per week securing food. That's it. The rest of the time was theirs. So the real question isn't did they have free time? They had enormous amounts of it. The real question is, what happens to a human brain when there's nothing it has to do? Let's start with something that surprises almost everyone. Boredom, as we experience it today, might actually be a modern invention, not the feeling, the problem. Psychologist John Eastwood at York University studied boredom extensively and found something fascinating. Boredom isn't just having nothing to do. Boredom is wanting to engage with something meaningful and failing to find it. It's a mismatch between your desire for stimulation and what's available. And here's the key. Ancient humans lived in an environment where almost everything was stimulating. Every sound in the forest was information. That rustle predator or prey, that smell storm coming or animal nearby, every crack of a branch required attention. Every change in the sky meant something. Their brains weren't sitting in a quiet apartment with nothing happening. They were sitting in a world that was constantly talking to them. Neuroscientist Daniel Levitin argues that the human brain evolved in a state of constant low-level environmental engagement. We weren't built for the blank walls and silent rooms we now call relaxation. We were built for a world that never stopped moving. So the first answer to how did ancient humans deal with boredom is simple. Their world didn't really allow it, not the way yours does. But that's not the whole story, because here's where it gets genuinely interesting. When ancient humans did find themselves with nothing urgent to do, and they did, often the things they chose to fill that time tell us something remarkable about what humans actually are. Let's talk about what they actually did. They played, not children. Adults. Anthropologists studying the Hadza in Tanzania documented that adults, after a successful hunt or food gathering session, would spend hours playing games, throwing contests, wrestling, chasing games with no stakes and no prizes. In archaeological sites across Africa and Europe, researchers have found small carved game pieces dating back over 5,000 years. Board games, strategy games, pieces designed purely for play, found in graves, in campsites, in the ruins of ancient homes. The royal game of one of the oldest known board games, dates back 4,600 years. It was found in a royal tomb in modern Iraq. Someone liked it so much they wanted it buried with them. But it goes deeper than games. They gossiped. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar, famous for Dunbar's number, the idea that humans can only maintain about 150 stable social relationships, spent years studying what humans naturally talk about when they have nothing they need to talk about. His finding? Roughly 65% of human conversation, across every culture studied, is social gossip. Who did what? Who said what about whom? Who's interesting? Who's in trouble? Dunbar argues this wasn't idle chatter. It was social maintenance. In a group where your survival depended on relationships, knowing the social landscape was critical information. Gossip was intelligence gathering dressed up as entertainment. So when ancient humans had nothing to do, they talked. About each other, about everything. And it kept the group tight, informed, and functional. They also made things, not for survival, just to make them. We found carved figurines from 40,000 years ago with no obvious practical purpose. Small animals, abstract shapes, human forms. Archaeologists at first assumed these were religious objects. Maybe some were, but many show signs of heavy handling, worn smooth from being held, passed around, played with, toys, or something very close to them. The Venus of Holy Fells, a small ivory figurine carved 40,000 years ago in what is now Germany, was found in pieces, clearly broken and repaired multiple times. Someone kept fixing it. Someone valued it beyond its function. because it had no function. It was just a thing someone made because they wanted to make it. Let's rebuild an afternoon. The hunt ended this morning. There's enough food for 2 days. Nobody needs to do anything right now. A few people are napping in the shade. 2 older men are playing a throwing game with stones, arguing loudly about who's landed closer. A woman is carving something from a piece of bone, not a tool, just a shape she likes. A group near the fire is deep in conversation about someone who said something to someone else yesterday. Children are everywhere, running, climbing, falling, laughing, and the adults aren't ignoring them. They're watching, joining in occasionally, teaching without calling it teaching. Someone starts humming, someone else picks it up. It becomes a rhythm. Not a song exactly, something looser, something that exists only in this moment, between these people. This is what free time looked like for most of human history. Not empty, not boring, deeply, richly human. And there's something important here that's easy to miss. None of this required anything external. No device, no content, no entertainment delivered from outside. Every single thing filling that afternoon came from inside the group, from the people themselves. They were the entertainment. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. Modern boredom studies show that the average person today cannot sit alone in a quiet room with nothing to do for more than 15 minutes without reaching for their phone. In a famous 2014 study published in Science, researchers found that a significant number of participants chose to give themselves mild electric shocks rather than sit alone with their thoughts for 15 minutes. They chose pain over nothing. Your ancestors spent entire afternoons with nothing but their own minds and the people around them, and they were fine. Better than fine. Anthropologists consistently describe hunter-gatherer leisure time as genuinely joyful. So what happened? The answer is probably this. We solved boredom so completely, so aggressively, with so much content and stimulation, that we broke our own ability to tolerate the absence of it. We optimized ourselves out of knowing how to just be. Your ancestors didn't need to deal with boredom. They needed something to fill the time. And humans, left to themselves with other humans, are apparently very good at that. We're the ones who forgot. The next time you're bored, really bored, uncomfortably bored, you're not experiencing a problem. You're experiencing something ancient, something your brain was built for and hasn't felt in a long time. The discomfort isn't emptiness. It's your brain looking around for the things humans have always used to fill time. Other people. Making things. Playing. Talking. Existing together. The tools were never the phone. The tools were always each other. You just forgot where you put them.
Subscribe.